Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a get ready with me. I'm not really doing anything much today, so I'm not going to do a crazy look. I'm just going to kind of do my everyday makeup. I don't necessarily do the same thing every day because I've got a ton of makeup and I just enjoy doing different looks. Um, but I thought that maybe I could show you what I do. You could see how I use the Tarte Shape Tape that I talked about in my last video. Of course, I have absolutely no makeup on right now. All I have is a clean face. Afterwards, I put on that Murad moisturizer with the built-in SPF. I put my eye cream on from Kiehl's. It's the avocado eye cream. And then I put some Aveeno baby sunscreen on my neck. As I mentioned before, it's very sensitive, so I'm trying out baby sunscreen right now. As you can see, I've got that set pigmentation that I talked about. I have this lovely scar. But on top of the scar, I have from my radiation a tan that's fading. I did fake tan after my last video, so I'm a little bit tanner. And I'll be using different foundation because of that. So yeah, if you want me to do a video on my fake tan, I can definitely do that some other time. And if there's anything else in here that spurs you to want to see another video on something else, just let me know. So today I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is my favorite cream foundation because it covers everything without looking cakey. As I said before, I fake tanned, so I'm a little bit darker now. Let me show you this. And currently I am ivory beige. When I don't fake tan, my color is, this one, see if I can show you. This is my fake tan color, this is my regular color, and this one's ecru, okay? So I'm going to be using this today, and I'm going to apply it with a damp beauty blender. This looks disgusting, but believe it or not, I just washed it. Put that on. So I put a little bit on my hand because a little bit of this goes a long way. Take the beauty blender, and I just start. I usually start on my cheeks. And as you can see, it is a little bit darker than my face, but it is going to blend with my neck and my body. This side really smooths it out, makes it the color of my neck and my body now. This side, it's going to really work. The reason why I wanted to do this today with y'all is because since I'm showing you that pigmentation from the radiation, this really cancels it all out and makes it one color. And I can take it on my neck, whereas I have some of these white spots from the radiation. It helps cover those too. So I'm going to put a little bit more. My forehead. As you can see, I've got two little bumps right here. And this will just cover that up. I probably won't even use concealer on those because the foundation does it for me. So if I look over here, it's because I've got a mirror over here. And I've actually done pretty well looking at the camera. I'm kind of surprised with myself. But yeah. Okay, I've also kind of kept it away from right here. You can put it there, it's fine. But I do that because in a second I'm about to put my concealer on and there's really no point in layering two products. From what I found is that the more products you layer on top of each other, the less likely it is going to absorb into the skin and stay. So I try to keep it to a minimum, put my foundation in the places that I'm going to have that, and then I put my concealer in a different place. You don't have to do it that way. That's just what I found works best for my skin. I'm going to look over here, make sure I don't have any places. So the next thing is the Tarte Shape Tape. As I mentioned before, I'm in the shade Light. Now it's like a couple shades too light for me, but I like that because I like a really light under eye. And I do it a little bit right here, just to brighten up my face. I know I look insane right now. It looks like war paint, but I promise you it'll work. So I take my beauty blender today. It's damp, but usually, like I said earlier, if I'm doing my Bare Minerals foundation, I don't even bother dampening it. I just use the dry beauty blender. I find that it works. And sometimes even the dry one works better for this because it's smaller, and this little pointed edge allows me to get in by my eye right here. I can still do that when it's damp, but it's easier when it's not. So I'm going to look over here, make sure I'm getting it. Sometimes I like to go take it down right here too because I have some broken capillaries. Alright, so this is the double wear with the Shape Tape under my eyes. As you can see, it really brightens them and it looks really pretty. I mean, this is a pretty matte foundation, and as you wear it, it's gonna get a little bit more dewy, so you don't really need to set it with any powder or anything. If you're really oily, I would, I'd set your under eyes, but like I said, this doesn't crease on me. So a regular concealer, I would normally have to set it with powder, but I don't have to set this with powder, which is really great because I like the fewer steps, the better. So the next thing I love to do is bronzer. Bronzer is probably my favorite step. And let me see, where is my bronzing brush? My favorite bronzing brush, probably one of my favorite brushes of all time, is the Bobbi Brown bronzing brush. It's got this big brush. I don't really do a ton of like super defined contouring because I like a little bit more of a natural look, but I definitely like you to be able to see my bronzer. I don't think it's any secret that I like makeup and I want you to be able to see it. I just don't like those super harsh lines. So I love to use this huge brush. These aren't cheap brushes, but you get what you pay for when it comes to makeup brushes. So, where did I put my bronzer? Oh, here it is. So again, Bobbi Brown. This is in the shade Medium 2. It's a very warm bronzer. I know you think, oh, how is that going to work on her? But it's beautiful. I've also used the shade Golden Light, which is really pretty too. This is a little bit darker than Golden Light, and this is actually my favorite. But if you're lighter than me, then you could probably stand to go with Golden Light. These are wonderful bronzers. They don't oxidize on me, meaning they don't kind of get patchy on me or anything. I love them. It's a very matte bronzer. It has absolutely no shimmer in it. I could recommend some shimmer bronzers for you at another time, but this is the one I use today. So I usually take it and I put it right here, and I put it right here. And I know the lighting is not great for you to be able to see this, but I promise you it's there. You can see a little bit better right here. And then I put it here, and I put a little bit on my nose. A lot of people go in and do it right here, but honestly, can't be bothered. So that's about it. Then after the bronzer, I do blush. I really like blush. You're going to find that I really like Bobbi Brown products. This is disgusting looking, but this has the shades Pale Pink, Pink, and Powder Pink in it. Honestly, one of my favorite blushes is this neon pink blush. It's called Pale Pink, and it's absolutely beautiful. It doesn't look, it's not going to come out, it's going to leave a beautiful flush. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. So I take a little bit of that, and I just put it there. I start on my apples, and I just go up, work up on my cheekbones. And then I do that. Same thing on the other side. Leave it like that. And then I also love the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick in bronze. Okay, I have a ton of other highlighters, but today since it is summer, I want to have a bronzy glow. I have a ton of other highlighters. Highlighters next to bronzer are probably one of my favorite things, so I could show you those later. But I'm just going to take this. This brush is from Sephora, and it's their collaboration with Mara Hoffman. I have a set of these. These are great brushes. Really, Sephora brushes in general are pretty great brushes, and they're on the lower price range of the quality brushes. So I just take this and put it on my cheekbones. Sometimes I'll put it up here, my brow bone, put it down my nose, put it a little bit right here. This has different colors, so you have lighter colors in here, got darker colors in here. If you just wanted to use it as a highlight, you could just use these. If you wanted to get some of that bronze in there, you could go down at the bottom. As you can tell, I really like that bronze. So, that's where we are so far. Again, this is the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick in bronze. Okay, they have other color shimmer bricks. That one, they're all beautiful. That one's my favorite. So the next thing I do before I go on to eyes is my brows. As you can see, my brows are pretty thin. It's a product of me plucking them in middle school and high school. Huge regret. But they're actually not the thinnest they've been. Over chemo, I lost a ton of brow. And you'd really be surprised at how fast it came back. I did use the Roden & Fields, their lash serum. I'm blanking on the name right now. But I also used that on my brows, and it really helped them grow back pretty fast. It also helped my lashes. I actually use them on my real lashes too, but as you can tell, I've got lash extensions because I can't wait. So, anyway, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pencil. So what I usually do is I start by spooling them. I'm just brushing them out. As you can see, my brows don't grow up like a lot of people. They just grow long and out. So the way you're going to work with the brow pencil really depends on how your brows grow. So what I usually do, again, let me see if I can move you over here. I start at the top right here. This is going to be difficult. And I start moving that way. And I just bring it along, up and over like this. And brows are definitely something that you have good and bad days with. Some days I can do my brows in like 30 seconds and they're freaking badass. Some days, like probably today, I have to redo them over and over again just because I'll make them uneven. As you can see, mine start off pretty far, again, from plucking and tweezing them and getting them waxed when I was younger and them waxing them too far apart and just them never growing back like they were supposed to. So I don't get them waxed anymore. I do break out when I get them waxed, so I try to stay away from that. I just pluck them, honestly. And then after I do it, I just take the spoolie and I run it through them so that they look a little bit more natural. And yeah, that's what I do. So I'm going to do the other brow and I'll be back. Okay, so now both my brows are done. Remember, brows are sisters, not twins. So they're, even if you have perfect brows, unlike me, they're going to be a little bit different. So from here, I usually go in and do my eyes. I'm going to use the Tarteist Pro palette. It's a lot of mattes and shimmers on this side. I like to mix my palettes because I've got a ton, so why not? I'm probably also going to use the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. It's a lot of warm colors. These are absolutely beautiful. If you've got blue or green, hazel eyes, I mean, you could wear it with any other, but I think light eyes, using those warm colors really looks good on them. So I usually start off with a primer. This is what I'm using right now. It's the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Eyeshadow in 35 Shore. And basically all it does is it just makes my lid all one color. It gets rid of that darkness so that I can put on shadow, and it also helps my shadow stay longer. If you have oily skin, oily eyelids, and you go to work all day and you're often tired when you go to work like me, a eyeshadow primer is absolutely necessary, because by the end of the day you're not going to have any makeup on, because when you're tired your skin produces more oils, or at least mine does, and I leave at the end of the day with either no eyeshadow or it's all melded together into one color. So I like to use a primer. So what I like to do is I like to start with my crease color, and I usually like to start with a matte to do that. Today I'm going to start with, let's see, this kind of, it's like an orangey brown called Innocent right here. And I love MAC's eyeshadow brushes. So the one that I'm going to start off with, if I'm looking down, it's because I've got a towel in my lap that I can wipe stuff off on. The one I'm going to start off with today is the 221 brush, and this is a great crease brush by MAC. So I take Innocent. I'm just going to do a windshield wiper motions in my crease, like that. I've got a lot of surface to work with when it comes to, oh crap, the wrong one. When it comes to my eyelids. So my creases are usually really big. I think that when the smaller your eyes are, the more important it is to get that defined crease. Because it really helps break up top and bottom. So now that I have that, you don't really have to be perfect yet with your, with where it is. You may get it along right here. It may be a little uneven, but the more you go in, the more you're going to blend, and the better it's going to look. So after that, I put my matte, kind of like I said, it's like kind of an orangey, peachy brown in the crease. And then on the lid, I am going to use a mix between this Puree and Candied Peach right here. And you're thinking, wow, those look pink. And they're a little pink, but again, if you have lighter eyes, they look really, really good, and you can make them look really natural. So usually what I do is I just kind of go back and forth a little bit, because I like to mix, and I put that shimmer on the lid, Puree, put that on the lid, put that on the lid, like that, and that's already beautiful. Look at that. And then I'll go in with a different MAC brush. It can be the same 221. This is a 217, also great. It's got a little bit thicker tip to it, but I'm going to put a lighter color. This one is White Peach. Bear with me. I'm just learning how to do this, so I have to remember to show you what I'm doing. Taking White Peach, which is a great brow bone color. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it, and I'm putting it up here to lighten that. I've got a dog trying to get into my lap right now. Sorry. And now I'm going to go back with that same crease color. Sometimes you won't even have to get more of the crease color. It'll still be on your brush. And again, I'm going to define that crease. Okay. Now, you could leave it like this, and this is absolutely beautiful. I like to give a little bit of definition, put a little bit of darker color right here. So I want to find a brush that's a little skinnier, and it's a little easier to get in a specific place. This is another Sigma brush. This is the E30. I don't know if they still have this. I've had this for a long time. I got it in a brush kit a couple years back. And I'm going to go in with, let's see. You could do a rusty brown like this, or you could do a more brown like this. This one's edgy, and I think that's the one I'm going to go with. Let's see. I'm going to start the lash line and just put it right here. And again, I really like kind of smoky look, even when it's just daytime. And just put it right here. Again, I'm not a makeup artist. I've just done my makeup a lot. So I'm absolutely no expert whatsoever. I just like doing makeup. I take edgy. Put it on this eye. Like it. Crease, and see, I'm kind of putting it at the corner of the eye, start along the lash line, work up, and then I take it in the crease like that. And I don't go the whole crease like I did. I'm not making it big. And see, that really kind of smokes out that edge. And then sometimes I like to take it and just take that same color that I used to smoke it out and just put it a little bit underneath my eye. You don't want to go super heavy on this. And then the last step, I like to go over that lid color again to really get that shimmer in there. Notice that's really the only shimmer I used was on the lid. And then I'm going to go over it again right here, and I'm going to put a little bit right here in that section that I didn't cover. You can use a different brush. I just like to wipe mine off and go back in there. I'm going to take that puree and just peachy, go over my eyelids with it. Puree. Notice I'm not taking off the whole eyelid because I don't want to get rid of that smoke that I just made, just in this section that I've left. Now, here I could do lips and I could be done. Today, I'm going to show you how I do my normal liner. I'm going to use, again, Bobbi Brown. I'm going to use her black gel ink liner because this is probably the best liner that you could ever use. So I want to show you how to do it. You want to get a brush that, they make brushes for like eyeliner. This, I'm not sure if it was made for eyeliner, but I use it for it. It works really great. Do you see how skinny it is? And it's very firm. So what I usually do is I take, I'm going to have to get real close to do this. I apologize. I take this and I pull my eye, especially if you have big eyes like me. If you have smaller, more almond-shaped eyes, then you probably don't need to pull your eye like I'm pulling it, but I need to flatten out the surface as much as possible. And I just start at this edge, and then I'll bring it in just a little bit right here. I try not to get too heavy right here, and I don't always take it all the way down. So I do that just a little bit, and then I'll smoke it out just a tad. And then I always do a wing when I do liner because, again, I've got really round eyes. And so since my dancing days, when I learned how to do a flick, that's all I've ever done. I feel like it elongates my eye. I may be wrong, but that's what I do. And I just bring it up like that. And it's very easy. Super easy to do with this gel. And I don't do a huge flick, but I just do a little one because I feel like it brings my eyes up instead of them just being like big old frog eyes. So again, I'm going to do that on the other side. You know, when you first do this, you may have to work at it a bit because it definitely takes practice. I've probably been doing a winged liner since the 8th grade, I'm telling you. So I've had a lot of practice. It takes some practice, but when you get a good thin brush and you get the best liner, gel liner there is, it is super easy to do a winged liner. I find this a lot easier than your liquid liner. Although it can work, this I think is much easier. You have a lot more control over it than with the liquid liner. So yeah. No clue where I put the top. There it is. Okay, so if you don't have false lashes, then at this point you would want to go in with a mascara. Some of my favorites are the Better Than Sex by Too Faced. This is actually my very favorite. I really like this one. I've just tried it out. This is the Shock by YSL. Those are great. And you can get fake looking lashes with those. Anyway, so from here, I'm just going to go in and do a lip. I love lips, but if I'm going to skip any step, it's probably going to be the lip. But I won't today, of course. So I'm going to use the lip liner that I mentioned last time, my favorite lip liner. This is called Lancome Ideal. This is absolutely beautiful. You can use this with pretty much any nude that you have, a brown nude, a pink nude, a nudie nude. You can use it with a more berried color. And so what I did is I just kind of stretch out my lips. I start in the corner. I go all the way down. You don't have to use a lip liner. I mean, there was a period in time where people wouldn't do lipstick without a lip liner. I just do it because I like bigger looking lips. I want Kylie Jenner lips. I'm not on that bandwagon. I can't be. I'm a teacher. My kids are. But I do like a little bit fuller looking lip, and I feel like a liner does that. So from there, and as you can see, this is not a super harsh liner. It just makes your lips fuller. So from there, I could take a lipstick or I could just take a gloss. And since today I'm not really doing much, I'm just going to take my favorite gloss, which has seen better days. This is the Buxom White Russian. This is a great nude gloss. There you go. So, this is the finished look. A peachy eye, pink cheeks, a winged liner, and a nude lip, and a dog. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know this is, again, long, drawn out. Eventually I'm going to figure out how to edit a video and effectively and not have a 30-minute long video. So until next time, my name is Erica. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and like my video. And please pass this on. I'd love to grow a following. I love to chat with people about this stuff, and a part of the reason that I've decided to start doing these videos is because I want to talk to people about makeup and fashion and beauty. I love it, and I could talk to you all day about it. So I'd love to grow a community in which we can all do that together. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Bye.